Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha.
1 second.
Yes,
Yeah, it's on. Okay, you can proceed.
yes. Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Andal Tiruvadikala Sharanam. We welcome all the Bhagavatas for our last and sixth part of our Essence of thiruppAvai series by
1 second.
Saradi Thotatri Swami. And today also very auspicious day of Tayastam, Kulatalwan's Thirunakshatram. So we are very fortunate to hear from Swami on the last and very important part of thiruppAvai. And we will have a session for 40 to 50 minutes. And at the end, 10 minutes for the question and answers. If you have any questions, you can directly ask Swami or in the chat. And all our 6 parts will be available in the Kovil.org YouTube channel. If you want to go back and hear any of these videos, it's available in the playlist. So Adiyan also will share the links in our respective groups. Adiyan, Srimate Ramanujan, we can start.
Okay. ஆண்டாள் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். श्रीशैलेश दयापात्रं दीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवं यतीन्द्र प्रवणं वन्दे रम्य जामातरं मुनिं रम्य जामात्री योगीन्द्र पादरेखामयं सदा तदा यत्तात्मसत्तादिं रामानुजमुनिं भजे लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मं व्यामोहतस्थितितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैहिकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मातापिता योतयस्तनया भूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपतेरुकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महतापय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेण प्रकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यं नीलातुङ्गस्तनगिरिदडी सुप्तमुद्बोध्य कृष्णं पारार्त्यं स्वं श्रुतिशतशिरसिद्धमध्यापयन्ति सोच्छिष्टायां सृजनिगणितं यावलात् कृतिमुग्धे गोदादस्यै नमयदमुदं भूये वास्तु भूयः அன்னவயல் புதுவை ஆண்டாள் அரங்கற்கு பன்னிருப்பாவை பல்பதியும் இன்னிசையால் பாடி கொடுத்தாள் நற்பாமாலை பூமாலை சூடி கொடுத்தாள் சொல்லு சூடி கொடுத்த சுடற்குடியே தொல்பாவை பாடி அல்லவல்ல பல்வழியாய் நாடினி வேங்கடவர்க்கு என்னை விதி என்னை இம்மாற்றம் நாங்கடவா மண்டமே நல்கு. We are going through Andal Nachiyar's Thiruppavai, especially the essence of Thiruppavai. What are the most important aspects which we have to understand from Thiruppavai so that we can put them into practice in our lives? All our Alvars and Purvacharyas works, they are aimed at one thing mainly, that is to give us knowledge about Artha Panchakam, especially about Bhagavan and how we as Atmas have to understand our relationship with Bhagavan and how we have to eternally engage in servitude for him. For that to happen, we have to be relieved from samsara. All the Atmas, especially Baddha Atmas, have been in this samsara since time immemorial. There is no beginning for Atma, there is no end for Atma. Atma is always present. It is neither created nor destroyed. But based on one's karma, one gets a particular body and it goes on in a continuous cycle. This has been happening since time immemorial. There is no beginning. And it will keep on happening. But for those who desire to be relieved from this samsara, this cycle of birth and death, there is hope. Bhagavan is trying to help every Atma to realize Atma's true nature and the real goal of the Atma, matching that nature to reach Bhagavan and serve him. The true nature of Atma is servitude. Even in the worldly situation, in the materialistic condition, if you see every person, every individual, that person will be serving somebody. Either he will be serving his parents, he may be serving his employer, he may be serving his elders, he may be serving his own body, or he may be serving his children. So someone will be served by everyone. Nobody can remain without serving either self or others. All of these are materialistic service. But we have to see what is the true nature of Jivatma, and according to the true nature of the Jivatma, one has to execute one's apt actions. So the true nature of Jivatma is eternal servitor of Bhagavan. Whether we realize it or not, we are all serving Bhagavan either directly or indirectly. Everything is Shariram, body of Bhagavan. The whole universe is a body of Bhagavan. Jagat Sarvam Shariram Te. It is mentioned in Sri Ramayana that the whole universe is Bhagavan's body. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says that he is the Antaratma of everyone. And he manifests the universal form, Vishwarupam, to prove that point as well. So Bhagavan can either directly accept service from individuals, or he can accept through his body, whether it is other humans, devatas, other individuals, even animals. We see some people serving animals also. In this manner, because everything is body of Bhagavan, we are serving Bhagavan in some way or the other. But what is the apt way of serving him? He has a designated divine forms, his Archa form, his Vibhava form, his divine form in Sri Vaikuntham. So these are the places where we are supposed to serve him. Similarly, those who are very dear to him, his dear devotees, those are also his forms. So we have to serve them, like Alvars, Acharyas. We have to serve them as well. So this direct service is the service to Bhagavan and Bhagavatas. Indirect service is to serve other devatas, other humans, other animals, our own body, our own mind. So when we serve all of these are indirect service. But these are not apt for our true nature. For our true nature, it is important for us to serve Bhagavan directly. So this service is known as Kainkariam. This Kainkariam is the goal of individual, that too eternal Kainkariam, Nitya Kainkariam in Sri Vaikuntham. And this particular goal is well explained in Divya Pravardhams, which are given by Alvars. Andal Nachiyar, being the divine consort of Bhagavan and also one of the Alvars, she has given this process, how to reach Bhagavan, how to serve him, who are we, who is Bhagavan, all of these in a very simple manner in her thiruppAvai. so that anyone can go through the pAsurams and get a basic understanding. And if we go into the depth of commentaries of thiruppAvai, we can understand the highest principles of Vaidika Dharma. So, we have taken up this study of thiruppAvai, especially the essence of thiruppAvai, during the Margadi month this year. And due to lack of time, we went over the Margadi month, and today we are going through the final section of this series, Essence of thiruppAvai. We have 4 pAsurams to cover today. In the past, we have seen the first 26 pAsurams of thiruppAvai. Initially, we saw the introduction to thiruppAvai, and then we saw the meanings of Taniyans briefly, and then we started seeing the important principles which are shown in the thiruppAvai pAsurams. In the beginning, Andal Nachar assumes the mood of a Gopika. She goes to Srivilliputturu, Bhagavan's temple. She assumes that Srivilliputturu to be Gokulam. She assumes the temple of Bhagavan to be Nandagopa's palace. She assumes herself to be a Gopika. She assumes her friends to be other Gopikas. She assumes that Bhagavan, who is reclining in this Dividesham Vatapatra Shahi, one who is resting on a banyan leaf, that Bhagavan to be Krishna. And she is taking up this Vratham, Margari Vratham, thiruppAvai Vratham, and she is approaching Bhagavan in a step-by-step manner. First, she identifies her purpose, and then she gives introduction about the Vratham, how it should be done, and she prays for the well-being of those who are supporting this Vratham, the elders of the Gokulam. And then she identifies that by singing the names of Bhagavan, by being totally surrendered unto him, all the sins will be eradicated and one will reach Bhagavan. These are the first 5 pAsurams. And then in the next 10 pAsurams, she goes to the places of Gopikas, 10 Gopikas, one in each pAsuram, and she wakes them up. Here, those who are awake, the Gopikas including Andal, they are all restless and being unable to sleep due to separation from Krishna. Those who are sleeping inside, they are mesmerized and they cannot even move. In the memories of Krishna, they are totally mesmerized and drowned. So, both are equally respectable, both are equally engaged in Krishna. So, they engage with each other, and Andal Nachar gathers all of them together. From 16th pAsuram till 20th pAsuram, Nandagopa, Yashoda mother, and then Balarama, and Krishna, and Neela Devi, Napinai Pirati, all of them are woken up. And subsequently, Andal Nachar requests Krishna to come out of the bed, become seated in his throne, and performs Mangala Shasanam on seeing Krishna walking towards the throne. Andal Nachar performs Mangala Shasanam to Krishna, and then she glorifies Krishna. She identifies what she needs for the Vratham, and she expects only Kainkaryam. That point is emphasized by her in the subsequent pAsuram. So we have seen all of these in the previous sessions. Now, in this final session, we'll go through the last 4 pAsurams and their essence. 27th pAsuram is Kudare Villam Sir Govinda. In this pAsuram, Andal Nachiyar is explaining the nature of the ultimate goal. She hints about the nature of the ultimate goal in this 27th Pasuram. With the help of Adigamanavad Perumal Nayanar, the divine younger brother of Pillilokacharya, we are seeing the series of essence of thiruppAvai. Based on his commentary, we are seeing this brief explanation. So in 27th Pasuram, first Andal Nachiyar identifies how Bhagavan brings both who are favorable and unfavorable, those who are devotees and those who are not devotees, those who are even inimical towards Bhagavan, towards him. That is his nature. Bhagavan's nature is he attracts everyone towards him. Kudare vellum seer Govinda. Those who are not joined with him, united with him, he remains victorious over them and he brings them together. The way he does it is those who are unfavorable, he shows his powers, valor, and defeats them. Those who are favorable, he shows his beauty, his qualities, and he attracts them. This is explained by Andal Nachiyar in this Pasuram. She also explains that ultimately the goal is Sayujyam, Sayujya Moksham, that is, being united with Bhagavan and eternally serving him. There are different types of moksham. Samipya, Sarupya, Salokya, Sayujya. These are explained in Shastram, in Purvacharya Granthams. Among those, we desire for Sayujya. Different people may misinterpret what is Sayujya, but Sayujya means to be united. And when we are united with Bhagavan, what do? We have to serve him because we understand our true nature is to be a servant, to a servitor, to be a servitor. Once we understand the true nature, then naturally we will serve. Once we reach Paramapadam, Vaikuntham, we will be purified from all our impurities, we will be fully knowledgeable about our true nature. When one has true understanding of one's nature, then when one is purified of all the impurities, then naturally one will engage in service. So when we are together with Bhagavan, we will be engaged in enjoying his qualities and serving him eternally. That is our ultimate goal. That is established by Andal Nachiyar in this Pasuram. In this Pasuram, she is also saying that once we reach Bhagavan, we get to wear so many decorations, such as a bracelet, armlet, ear stud, and other ear ornaments, anklets, which are all given by Bhagavan and Nappinai Pirati, because Nappinai Pirati is the divine consort of Bhagavan who is with him. She is the one who is guiding us and making us unite with him. So she will give, along with Krishna, to us these things. Now these are like decorations for our shoulders, our arms, our feet, our ears. What do they represent? They represent things like decoration to our shoulder is Shankha Chakra imprints. Decoration for our hands is Anjali Mudra, joining the palms and worshipping him. That is the decoration for our hands. Decoration for the feet is keeping them together, identifying that we have no other refuge, we cannot go anywhere. Decoration for our head is Bhagavan's divine feet. So these are all identified as the decorations we have to get. and we enjoy Bhagavan in an overflowing manner, just like we enjoy மூடனை பெய்து முழங்கை வழிவார. It is mentioned in this pasuram, கூடியிருந்து குளிர்ந்தேலோர் எம்பாவாய். பால் சோறு மூடனை பெய்து முழங்கை வழிவார. That is this sweet pongal. It should be having abundance of ghee, and we should have them we should have it in our hands where the ghee is pouring out. That is again representing our enjoyment of Bhagavan's divine qualities in an overflowing manner. We enjoy that and we remain with Bhagavan and we constantly serve him. That is the goal of this Jivatma that is established in this pasuram. Here Andal establishes the goal, and then in the 29th pasuram she refines that goal, because 28th pasuram and 29th pasuram are focused on upayam and upayam, but she highlights what that upayam is in the 27th pasuram. So that is 27th pasuram, and then 28th pasuram, கறவைகள் பின் சென்று காணம் சேர்ந்துண்போம் அறிவொன்னும் இல்லாத ஆய்குலத்து. In this pasuram, குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லாத Govinda is very, very important. Bhagavan is free from all blemishes, all defects. உந்தன்னோடு ஒருவர் நமக்கு இங்கு ஒழிக்க ஒழியாது. That is also very important. The relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma is eternal. There is no beginning, there is no end for it. It is just that we didn't realize it in the past. Now we have realized it. It is like, for example, a precious gem. It always has its shine. When the dust on it is wiped off, when the dust is there, we don't see the shine. But when we wipe off the dust, the shine comes out. It's not coming from outside, it is inside only. But it was covered by dirt. Similarly, the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma was not understood in the past. Now we understand it. Once we realize it, then we have to act according to the relationship with Bhagavan. That is the true relationship with Bhagavan. That is, Bhagavan is the Lord and we are all his servitors. And when we are his servitors, how do we reach him? We have to depend on him. That is explained in this pasuram, that Bhagavan is the means and we are not the means. To reach him, we have to depend on Bhagavan. For that, she identifies this example of cowherds going behind the cattle to tend them, to feed them in the forest. At that time, she says, "Karavegal pinsendu kaanam serundunbom." This particular line indicates that we don't have any jnanam or anushtanam, and we don't have any other upayam. Karavegal pinsendu, we have the cattle as our guru. We are following the cattle, and we are going to the forest. Why do we go to the forest? One may wonder. We may be going there to do tapasya, to perform penance. But no, that is not what we are going for. She is saying, Pin Center, Kanam Serdu Unbom. We are going there to just eat. We have to make the cattle eat. We also have to eat. So we go there. And we go there, we don't follow any norms. For example, when we eat, we have to sit in a proper place. And we have to wash our hands before. We have to eat with proper meditation on Bhagavan, thinking that the food is Bhagavad Prasadam. First of all, it should be Bhagavad Prasadam. We should not just think about it, but it should be Bhagavad Prasadam. We cannot just eat anything. So it's all contrary to what most people do today. They go to a hotel or a restaurant. They get things from there. We don't know who cooked it, how they are cooked, what ingredients are used. We just see the taste and we eat it. And we eat there standing also. Many people are standing and eating. They are wearing shoes and then eating. They are drinking water or any other beverages. Again, everything is done standing also. So no rules and regulations are followed. Even to drink water, we have to sit and drink only. Any prasadam we are eating, we have to sit and eat. We should keep the prasadam. If we are having proper meals, then we have to put it on a plantain leaf, for example. And we have to remember Bhagavan before consuming the prasadam. We have to consume the prasadam with that remembrance. And then once we complete it, then we wash our hands and we wash our feet. We have to rinse our mouth. There is a lot of steps involved, even in eating. And we should not be talking anything unnecessary while eating. We should not touch the hand, right hand. We have to eat with right hand, first of all. And that right hand should not be used to touch anything else while we are eating. If you touch the food and touch the mouth, then our hand becomes contaminated. We cannot touch anything else. And we have to keep our left hand from touching the food or the leaf. Once we complete eating, we have to throw the container which we ate on. So we should not eat in like on plates. We have to eat in leaf only, because Shastram says whatever container we used, we have to throw it out. So there are so many rules and regulations for eating also. That simple concept of eating is taken by Andal Nachar here to prove that we don't have any basic Anushtanam also. What to speak about Karma Yogam, Jnana Yogam, Bhakti Yogam? We don't even have basic Anushtanam. How can we have Karma Yogam, Jnana Yogam, Bhakti Yogam? So all our means is you only. Undanne Pere Virandane Punyam Yamudayam. You are our Punya, you are our means, you are our virtue. We don't have anything else. You are born in our cowherd clan. That is our greatest fortune, because you are here to take us to the ultimate goal. And why you have come here? Because you have this ultimate relationship between us. And you understand that relationship, even though we don't understand it, you understand it. So you have come here to fetch us, to get us. So we accept that and we pray for the ultimate goal only. We don't pray for anything else. And you should not have any anger towards us, because we have been in this samsara for so long, forgotten you forever. Now only we have remembered you, because that too, you have come here to remind us about you. So because of all of this, you should not be angry on us and abandon us. Rather, you should give your mercy and you should accept us. This is our prayer, says Andal Nachar in this 28th Pasuram. Nayanar identifies very beautifully that Bhagavan is the means here, and he causes many good things in us so that we can reach him, starting with Advesham, not having hatred towards him. Just like the cows of Brindavana, they didn't have any hatred towards Bhagavan. They always appreciated his help. But they cannot even manifest their appreciation. Only thing is they don't reject him. Just that non-rejection is considered as the favorable act by the cows, and Bhagavan took care of them. So we also have to at least have advesham towards Bhagavan, and that advesham is also given by Bhagavan only, by his constant effort only. And Nayanar identifies six requirements in a Sharanagata. Those who surrender to Bhagavan, they should have these 6 aspects. One is they should be fully fixed that Bhagavan is the goal, Bhagavan is the means, not our efforts. We have to admit that we have nothing in our hands. This is Akinchanyam. I don't have anything else in me to make you accept me. You have to accept me out of your own grace, out of your own commitment towards me, because you are the owner and I am the owned. First point is this. Second point is, because I have no other qualification to reach you, I should consider myself to be very, very meek, lowly, and humble. I should not think that, oh, I have this Anushtanam. I wear 12 Tirumans every day. I wear Mala. I have Yajnapavitam. So all of these qualities, they are not my qualification to reach you. They are just mere following of orders of the Shastram. As I have accepted you, I accept Shastram and I am following what is mentioned for me in Shastram. It is only a manifestation of my obedience, nothing more than that. These are not my qualification to reach you. So that kind of mentality, understanding should be there, that I am very humble, I am meek, I am helpless. So this should be there. And we have to consider, third point is we have to consider that Bhagavan's auspicious qualities like Karunyam, Vatsalyam, they are all the Mula Sukritam, that is the main root cause of all auspiciousness for me. Then the fourth point is we have to realize the eternal relationship between ourself, Jivatma, and Bhagavan. Fifth point is we have to beg for pardon from Bhagavan, Emperman, for the mistakes we have done since time immemorial. In the samsara, we've been here for so long that there is no beginning, and we have committed so many mistakes throughout our time here. It is countless. There is no end to the mistakes we have committed. So we have to beg for forgiveness from Bhagavan, that even after committing all these mistakes, I am still coming and standing in front of you and seeking your mercy. How dare I am. So I beg your pardon. That should be the mood. And finally, we have to request for Kainkaryam from Bhagavan. That is the ultimate goal for us. So this is based on the pasuram itself. Pasuram's phrases are used to bring out these 6 aspects which we must have. So this is explained in the 28th pasuram. Finally, the last 2 pasurams, 29th pasuram, Sittanjari Hale Vandunne Chevithu Un Pottamaradiye Pothum Porul Kelai. In this pasuram, Andanachar highlights the most important principle, that is Kainkaryam is the ultimate goal, and in that also the real pleasure is for Bhagavan. Our Kainkaryam is not for our self-pleasure. It is not for me to be happy and jolly and not having to do anything which we are doing here. Kainkaryam means serving Bhagavan, that too for the pleasure of Bhagavan, only for his pleasure. Our pleasure is only a byproduct which comes naturally, but we should not be seeking that as the main goal. This is explained in this pasuram by Andanachar in saying, Mattai nam kamangal mathu. So even when I am doing Kainkaryam, we should not think that nobody can do Kainkaryam like me. Oh, what will people do if I am not here? For example, from the beginning of the day yesterday till 4 o'clock this morning, we had Nammalvar's Adhyena Utsavam, Rapathu, the final day. So there was continuous Kainkaryam. We were all present there and engaging in some Kainkaryam. But if you think, oh, I have done Kainkaryam for 15 hours together, that will be very foolish of us, and be prideful about it. That will be very foolish, because consider we've been here in the samsara for time immemorial, millions and millions and millions and millions of years, billions, zillions of years. This 15 hours is nothing in that whole period. We are just blessed by Bhagavan, our Acharyas, to get some little bit of Kainkaryam. It is not due to our greatness. It is because of their compassion and mercy. So we must be grateful for that, and we must strive for more, crave for more, rather than thinking, oh, I have accomplished something. If I am not there, who could have done this Kainkariam? These kind of thoughts come up in people's minds. That should not be the case. We should think that, oh, we are so fortunate. At least after so many zillions of years, now we got to do a little bit of Kainkariam by His grace. Hope this continues by His grace. That is the attitude we should have. So in Kainkariam also, if we have that pride that I am superior, I am the center of attraction here. If we think like that, then it will be the cause for our own downfall. So that point is emphasized in this pasuram by Andal Nachiyar. So Sittanjiru Hale Vandunai Chevithu. In this pasuram, she says, Undanodu tome unake namatchevom matai nam kamangal matelo thiruppAvai. So she is saying that Undanodu uttome avom unake nam atchevom. We are Etraikum Elu Piravikkum. For many, many generations, we are connected to you. We should be serving you only, for your pleasure only. And that for your pleasure only is identified by Mathainam Kamangal Mathu. Because Andal Nachiyar is not going to have any other kamam, any other desire. Kamam means desire. She is saying Mathainam Kamangal, my other desires, get rid of me. Get rid of those other desires. What desire Andal Nachiyar is going to have? She is not going to have any other desire. But she is very cautious that she thinks when we are serving, if we think that it is for our own enjoyment, then it should not be there. Similarly, if we think that it's for your enjoyment and our enjoyment together, that should also be gotten rid of. Finally, we should remain for your own pleasure only, not for anything else. The lowest stage is doing Kainkariam for our satisfaction. Little bit better, middle stage is doing Kainkariam for Bhagavan's enjoyment and our enjoyment. But the ultimate stage is doing Kainkariam for Bhagavan only. This is the same when it comes to Acharya or Bhagavatas also. Kainkariam should be for the person who is receiving that service. The enjoyment should be for that person, not for the one who is doing. The one who is doing will naturally derive some happiness. That we cannot stop because we are having knowledge, jnanam. We are sentient beings, so naturally some pleasure will come to us. But that is not the goal here. The goal is to bring pleasure to Bhagavan, Acharyas, Bhagavatas, Alvars, and so on. So that is the message of this pasuram. Finally, 30th pasuram. Here, Andal Nachiyar finally assumes her own natural Andal form. Until the 29th pasuram, she was in a Gopika mood. Now that she has performed this vratam, she is now identifying that she has received the blessings of Bhagavan. And she is wishing that same blessings will be given to those who recite these pAsurams also. That is the important aspect in this pasuram. Vangakadal Kadaila, Madhavanai Keshavani, Tingal Tirmugati Chedia Cheniranji, Angapparahunda Atai, Anibudui Paigamala Tandirial Patraviran Podesuna, Sangat Tamil Malay Mapadan Tapame, Ingi Parisarepar, Irin and Malvare told Shangan Tirmuat Chelva Tirmala, Yengum Tirurabati in Purvar Empavai. Here, finally, Bhagavan agrees to fulfill her desire, and seeing that Andal assumes her natural form of being Andal, and she declares that anyone who learns and sings these 30 pAsurams, even though they may not have the same bhava, mood of Andal Nachiyar, they will also get the same result by her mercy, Andal's mercy. What is the result? The result which was attained by Gopikas, who had great love for Krishna when he was there in Vrindavan. The Gopikas had great love and they could be together with Krishna all the time and enjoy him. That same result was attained by Andal Nachiyar in Srivilliputturu itself. Now, that same result is given for those who subsequently learn and recite this 30 pAsurams. Again, that is happening by purely Andal Nachiyar's mercy, because she has taken birth for that only, to uplift all the Atmas, to help all the Atmas and by whatever many Gopikas they sing this also. There was a break. Continue. Yeah.
Some
We'll continue.
network issues for me, I think. Now it's
Yeah.
clear.
Now it's okay. Yeah. So here Parashara Bhatta identifies. Today is Tai Hastam, Parashara Bhatta's Trinakshatram. No, sorry, it's not Parashara Bhatta's Trinakshatram. It's Kuratalvan's Trinakshatram, Parashara Bhatta's Divine Father. Parashara Bhatta identifies those who sing these pAsurams, how they get the same benefit as Andal Nachiyar and Gopikas. Gopikas got Krishnanubhavam continuously. Andal Nachiyar also got Krishnanubhavam continuously. How do we get, we who are not having any of that mood, any of the purity, how do we get the same result just by singing these 30 pAsurams? For that, Parashara Bhatta explains, when a cow sees a calf, milk is automatically secreted for the cow. But if the calf dies, the cow herd will make a calf-like doll with hay and cover it with the calf's skin, and he will show that fake calf to the cow. The cow will think that is true calf, and then it will secrete milk. Then he can milk the cow easily. Similarly, when we sing the pAsuram of Andal Nachiyar, we will be getting the same mercy, because Bhagavan will see Andal's pAsuram, not our singing of it. And based on that, he will give us the mercy. And he also goes on to say that even if we just recite one pAsuram, Sittanjari Hali, that itself will give happiness to Bhagavan and he will bless us. And he further says, even if someone thinks that Parashara Bhattar was so engrossed in this thiruppAvai, how Parashara Bhattar will be so immersed in Anubhavam, if someone thinks about that also, they will get the same result. So that is the explanation given by Parashara Bhattar, because Parashara Bhattar was so attached to thiruppAvai. He will forget everything if he starts reciting or listening to thiruppAvai or its meanings. So he was so engaged in thiruppAvai, hence he would give this explanation that anyone is connected to thiruppAvai or Parashara Bhattar himself, who is so engaged in thiruppAvai, they will get the ultimate benefit as well. An important aspect in this final pAsuram is Andal Nachiyar highlighting the churning of milk ocean incident. That is because Mangakadal Kadenda Madhavani Keshavani. Here Madhava is name of Bhagavan, which indicates that he is the divine consort of Sri Mahalakshmi. When the ocean was churned, Mahalakshmi also came out of that ocean and she climbed on Bhagavan Sriman Narayana's divine chest and she became seated there, accepting Bhagavan as her divine consort. They are already divine couple, but still as part of that Leela, she emphasized that by ignoring all the other devatas and going to Bhagavan. Here that Purushakaram of Sri Mahalakshmi is emphasized. Because of her presence with Bhagavan only, we are all benefiting. So that aspect is highlighted here. And finally, she also says Patarviran Kodai. Patarviran Kodai means one who is divine daughter of Periyalvar, Vishnu Chittaswami. She identifies this because she is having Acharya Nishtai. She is totally dependent on Periyalvar, who is her father and Acharya as well. So this Acharya Nishtai also is emphasized in this final pasuram. So thus ends thiruppavai's essence. We have seen many important aspects over time in this thiruppavai sessions, essence of thiruppavai sessions. So let us be grateful towards Andal Nachiyar and all the acharyas who have given commentaries for thiruppavai. Periyavachan Pillai, Adigamnal Perumal Nayanar, I. Jananyacharya, Vanamamalai Totadri Ponadikal Jiyar, Dodayacharya Swami. Many of these acharyas have given commentaries for thiruppavai in various ways. Without those commentaries, it is very difficult to understand the full meanings of thiruppavai. So we conclude this session of Essence of thiruppavai series. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask.
Srimati Ramanjaya Namaha. Am I audible, Swami?
Adiyan Ramanjaya.
Swami, small doubt. As a Sri Vaishnava, is it important to strictly follow the prescribed rules before or after Panchasamskaram? Or is it just sufficient to simply cultivate the devotion in heart, like being compassionate to other beings, doing Kainkaryam in the temple, etc., even if the rules are not followed? In my opinion, if we truly devoted, we naturally follow the rules. Could you please clarify on this point?
Yeah, good understanding. The key is if we are truly devoted and truly having the knowledge, that knowledge will culminate into action. For example, if a person is very compassionate, let's take a very materialistic example. Let's say somebody gets hurt right next to us. If a person is naturally a compassionate person, immediately that person will help that person who got hurt. We cannot just lecture, we have to be truly compassionate and wait for somebody else to come and help the other person. So the true knowledge will culminate into action. So here true understanding of our nature, that we are servitors of Bhagavan and Bhagavatas, will naturally culminate into Kainkaryam. Now this Kainkaryam can be Bhagavad Kainkaryam, Bhagavata Kainkaryam, Acharya Kainkaryam, and it can be Vachika Kainkaryam, Manasika Kainkaryam, Kaika Kainkaryam. So it can be in different forms. Let's say a person is present due to different circumstances, he is present in a remote place, far away from the Videshams. Then one can engage in Vachika Kainkaryam. One can engage in Kainkaryams which don't require physical presence. Such as, for example, propagation of our Sampradayam from wherever we are, in whatever possible way for us. That can be done from anywhere. One need not be present in a Dividesham or so on. So depending on one's situation, one has to engage in Kainkariam. Let's say one is a person living in a Dividesham, and if there is need in temples, if there is need in Acharya Thirumaligai's mutts, then one has to engage in such Kainkariams. If one is not able to, let's say, go out of home, maybe there is some physical disabilities, diseases or conditions which does not allow me to stay there out for a long time and do physical activities, one can do what is possible for the individual. So one's mind is more important to be open for Kainkariam, to be able to analyze what can be done by that individual. And this can come from a combination of the individual's self-introspection and taking guidance from elders like acharyas, and see what is fit for oneself to engage in, and engage in that Kainkariam without any pride and ego and all of that. Is that clear?
Swami,
It is important for one to understand one's capability, and if one is capable to do Kainkariam in any particular way, then one has to do it for Bhagavata Acharyas.
Audience, Swami, done, yes, Swami.
Okay.
yes, Swami, there is one question for me in the chat. Adian will read. So, Swami, when we go to the places like Tirupati or temples and the yatras, we can't help but eat out. So, what would you suggest in that situation, Swami?
This is often asked and often answered also. It's probably present in our YouTube channel also. But I will give a simple answer, a short answer. We have to prepare ourselves wherever we travel, either to cook ourselves or to find out if there are temples or mutts where they offer prasadam. We have to put in a little bit of effort. If we can, for example, let's say we are going to Tirupati, we have to book the tickets, we have to book the rooms to stay, we have to travel all the way. We take up a lot of hardships, and we have to wait in the queue for 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever time it takes. So we are prepared to do all of that. Similarly, we should be prepared to do what it takes for getting prasadam. So some effort from our side must be there. Either we carry some stove or whatever it is possible in whichever means of transport we are going, or we find out from that place in the local circle if there is anyone who is providing some prasadam, even if you have to give some seva, some offering to the person who is giving prasadam, it is okay. We should not treat it like getting it from hotel, just that, oh, they are giving one meal, so we count like 200 rupees, 300 rupees per meal and give exactly like that. Rather, it should be a seva appreciation for their Kainkariam helping us out in this situation. It should be done in that mentality, not like a price for the food. So we have to do that little bit of homework on how to arrange for prasadam, and try to, this is very, in many ways, we have to have a network of Bhagavatas. We have to be connected with Bhagavatas in various places where we can help each other when we go to such places. In some towns, in the temples, we will get prasadam. We just have to request. In some temples, there will be abundance of prasadam. After offering to Perumal, they will be looking out for people to give out that prasadam. They wouldn't know who to give. They will just call out for people and give out prasadam. So we just have to find out. That is one extra step we have to do when we arrange for our travel.
Swami, small extension to this question, like, so one thing to take prasadam from our Sampradayam temple. So what if there's available of other Sampradayam also who are Vaishnavas? So how to decide sometimes?
It is
Because
better always to get from our Sampradaya places, whether it's temples or mutts, because we know those who are serving there have Ramanuja Sambandham, and it is offered to Alvas and Acharyas. So that should be the first preference. In any Sampradayam, they will do the same thing. First thing, they will find out if they have their own matta, their own establishment is there. Only if that is not there, those who are strict, they will try to, that is, those who are regulated in their Ahara Niyamam, they will try to find out other Sampradayam temples, Vaishnava Sampradayam temples. So this is the standard procedure which will be followed by anyone following their Sampradayam strictly. So first preference should be our own Sampradayam, and then if that is not available, then we can seek out other Sampradayam, Vaishnava Sampradaya temples or establishments.
Again, Swami, I'm reading another question asked in the chat. Swami, for basic needs, going job, doing job and fully engaged there, but Sharanagati is fully depends on Bhagavan, then it will be unhappy for Lord. Then how Lord will give moksham spending very less time?
Yeah, again, this also has been answered before, but again, I will explain briefly. See, the concept of Sharanagati is to totally depend on Bhagavan, and it literally means that we have to depend on both Atma Yatra and Deha Yatra on Bhagavan himself. Atma Yatra means our spiritual progress. Deha Yatra means our materialistic living here, bodily needs. For both, we have to depend on Bhagavan only. But in this samsara, we do have Shastram, which guides based on one's varna and ashrama, how one can engage in certain activities to earn their livelihood. So we must at least follow varnashrama dharma. Ultimately, it is better to totally be free from any bodily needs and just depend on Kainkeriam. Let's say in the past also if we go back even few generations, 3-4 generations before, many people will be serving in temples, not just Brahmanas, but Abrahmanas also. Many will be serving in temple and they will be getting food from temple for free, first of all. And they will get some vastrams, clothing. And they will also get some place to stay from the temple itself. Many kings will give donation to individuals. Kings were supporting, kings and merchants, they will be supporting those who are in Kainkariams. So people will get a place to stay, like a small house near the temple. They'll get some clothes periodically. Clothes means dhoti and sari. That is what the clothes are those days. So somebody will come and offer to the Kainkaryaparas periodically. And then they will get prasadam from temple. In the morning, there will be whatever is done Naivedyam to temple. That is why in temples, large quantity of Naivedyam will be done. So that those who are not having enough money, those who are doing Kainkaryam, they'll get some portion of that prasadam as a standard procedure. And they will live on that. This is how total dependence on Bhagavan is. And there also we should not be greedy, we should not be prideful, and usual things are there. Just because we are serving Bhagavan, it does not give any free ticket to us to do all kinds of nonsense when we are in Kainkariam. We still have to be focusing on our own true nature and improving our Atma Gunams qualities, noble qualities, and so on. But this is the ideal way of living, where we depend on temples or mutts, where the organizers, the administrators of the temple or the mutt will provide for those who are engaged in Kainkariam some basic remuneration in the form of place to stay and food and clothing and all that. That is the first level of Sharanagati. And the next level will be those who are not able to totally depend on that, but they want little bit more comfort. So they go and work according to the Varna and Ashrama. For example, if there is a Brahmana, then the Brahmana may learn, he must learn Vedams and he must teach Vedam, but he may have that as a profession. He may be learning Vedam and he may be teaching others, and while teaching others, they will get Guru Dakshina, because it is the duty of the Shishya to support the Guru. So for teaching this Vedam, they will be getting some Guru Dakshina. Similarly, they may use their knowledge in Vedam to perform Vedic rituals for others, doing Vedic samskarams like Upanayanam and then Vivaham, and then even after death, whatever the rituals which are done, there will be Purohitas, the Vaidikas, who will take care of guiding the individuals in all those routines. And they will be given some sambhavane, some seva, some offering for that. And with that, they can get a little bit more comfortable living. If people are desirous for that, they will do that. If there is a Brahmana person, then depending on whether he's a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, they can do their own activities according to the Varnam and Ashramam. So Kshatriya may engage in expanding his kingdom, generating wealth and so on. Vaishya may engage in Go Rakshana and then doing business, vyaparam and so on. So these are all farming, these are all done. And then Shudras will engage in assisting Brahmana, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. For that they will get some remuneration and they can live a little bit more comfortably with that extra remuneration. So this is how we should arrange our livelihood. At least if we are not totally surrendered to Bhagavan and not totally depending on Bhagavan, at least we should arrange our lifestyle so that we are in line with our Varnashrama Dharma to some extent. And sometimes people get this realization a little bit later in their life. In that case, at least when that realization comes, they should withdraw from doing unethical jobs, doing jobs which are contrary to their Varna and Ashrama, and trying to align themselves into the Dharma. Whenever that knowledge comes, at least at that time, we should change our course of action. So this is how we should be ideally living our life, so that Bhagavan is happy with us. Naturally, if we are contradicting the Vedic Dharma, that is the Varnashrama Dharma, then that will not be pleasing for Bhagavan. And we must endure the result of our sins. Whatever action we do against Shastram, that accumulates sins. We have to endure the result of those sins. Whether we are in Kankaryam, whether we are in the Varnashrama Dharma mode or outside this mode. In any case, if we do something wrong, we will have to face the consequences. Just because we are in Kankaryam, it is not that we will be free from facing the consequences. We can practically easily observe that. Let's say, being a Kankaryapara, we won't slap someone. Will Perumal save us from not getting punished? No, if we do it intentionally, if we do it in a wrongful way, we will face the consequence immediately. We will get the result immediately. So our intention is important there. Let's say if we do mistake, then Perumal may forgive. And if we atone for it, Perumal may forgive. Because we are surrendered to him, we are doing Kankaryams. He may have a soft corner towards us. But if we willfully do wrong things, actually it will be causing more anger for Bhagavan that you are being a Kankaryavara, you are doing all this kind of nonsense. It will have adverse effects. Similarly, if we follow Varnashrama Dharma, and then we still do mistakes, we will have to face the consequences. And if we are not following Varnashrama Dharma itself, then we'll definitely have to face the consequences. So it is better for us to try to be living in the ideal way, or at least the Vaidika way. Beyond that, we will have to face the consequences. That karma, we have to somehow exhaust it by going through facing the consequences. So we have to decide how we want to live our life, because no karma goes unaccounted for. Every act we do will be properly handled, properly given treatment by Bhagavan. Whether it is punishment or reward, we will have to face the consequences. So it is better for us to be in the proper dharma and pursue our livelihood. But one may have different situations now. So one has to navigate those situations and try to position oneself in a good position, eventually at least. Even if one is not in a position right now, one should try to plan for it, arrange for it in the coming years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Some plan should be there to align ourselves along with Shastram, so that we have to face less punishments. And the final part of the question is, getting moksham, it's completely up to Bhagavan. Whatever we do, ultimately, it's Bhagavan who is going to grant us moksham. So it is up to him. We just have to pray to Bhagavad Ramanuja that he ensures us that we get moksham from Bhagavan. That is the constant prayer we have to have. That is emphasized by Manavada Mamnigal in Yathiraja Vimshati. Kalatrayepi Karanatraya Nirmita Ati Papakresya Bhagavat Shamasva. In that shlokam, Mamnigal says, I am doing mistakes. I have done mistakes in the past. I am doing now. I will be doing in the future. I will be doing mistakes with my mind, body, and speech. So from all of these, to get forgiven by Bhagavan, Manavada Mangal says, I seek your help, Bhagavad Ramanuja. You have to help me to ensure that Bhagavan forgives me. So that is a prayer of Manavada Mangal. Even though he is so pure, he is still making that prayer so that we can use that prayer daily to pray to Bhagavan to be granted moksham at the end.
Again, Swami. Swami, if there are no more questions, I think we can conclude for today's one.
Sure.
Yes. We are very grateful, Swami, for your time and patience for all these 6 sessions. They have spent hours for us to go through each word by word of thiruppAvai and understanding its meanings, Swami. And very, very, very grateful for that. Really, Margali become more meaningful with waiting for these thiruppAvai sessions to understand the pAsurams much better, Swami. And yeah, going forward, we can have more and such sessions happening in some intervals and different topics, and we will all be very eager to have another session soon, Swami, on some topic. Srimati Ramanuja.
Definitely, it was a very interesting interaction for Adiyan also. Very meaningful questions were asked, and they were also, the answers were well received. So very happy to be part of these initiatives where we can continue on periodically. Andal Thirudiyade Sharanam, Alvar Ebbermanar Jiyar Thirudiyade Sharanam, Jiyar Thirudiyade Sharanam.